Hello everyone, we're today with Dr. Hesham Hafez, who is a former PhD student. And today we're with him because he is in Bulgaria right now to present a book that he wrote after defending his dissertation. It's a really interesting book. We just come back from the university and from the National Library where he was talking about the book in front of a big audience. And we just want to say a few words also today about the life after the PhD. So how he developed after graduating the PhD, to talk a little bit about the book that he is today to present, and probably to give some good tips to other PhD students like you. So Hesham, welcome again to Sofia. You were one of the first PhD students that we had together with the university here in Bulgaria.
That's true.
And can you just say a few words about that journey? From where you were born to how you grow your business to the dissertation and writing the book.
Oh,
yeah.
This is a very long journey. I have to talk about it, but I will take 5 minutes to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I was born in Egypt. I'm Egyptian.
Yeah.
I left when I was about 20 years old. I went to Austria, Graz. I studied business administration and economics in Graz. I finished and I started to work in Vienna. And I moved from Vienna to Cyprus. And from Cyprus, I moved to Dubai 1995, 1996. And that was my actually business. How did I come actually to the idea to study again? That was actually when I grow my business to a level where I didn't know actually where to go in the next step, with the next stage of my business. And a friend of mine, he told me, why you don't go to Harvard Business School to study? I was 42. And my business was okay. And I said, okay. I checked. I went to executive studies at the Harvard Business School for 3 years, 2006, 2008. And I started to learn how to think. I started to learn how the system of the universities in America actually influenced the student, which actually give them or encourage them to think. And I started to write paper about the economy at the time, 2007, 2008. It was the crash of the stock market and the crash of the economy. And I was actually predicting a lot. And 2009, I came back to the school after I was graduated. And then the professor said, hey, Hesham, what you said is correct. I told him, yes, but you told me I don't know anything and this is America and this will recover. He said, no, what you say is correct, and what you said is correct. From this moment, actually, I start to think, hey, it means what I'm thinking is not stupid things, but it's very important to the people to know. It's very important to the people to get, because those people I talk to, this is the think tank of the United States of America. It's not normal professors. They are counselor of Clinton, Obama administration, Clinton administration. They are really big guys, big names in the world. And I said, good. Then this is actually it's a good story. I met with Martin Stiger.
Yeah.
In Vienna. Martin is my friend, and I was talking to Martin, and then he told me, "Give me your paper. I would like to read it." And we were just talking normal. And then when Martin read the stuff and they said, hey, Hesham, this is a very nice paper. Why you don't publish it? I said, yeah, why not? And it was just a laugh stock. And then he said, you know what? It's better to have PhD first in order to say this is a research. This is a scientific research. Because if you say you are a businessman, and there's a million of businessmen, but you don't actually cover this area of research unless you have, I would say, a title, a scientific title that you are really a researcher. I said, not bad idea. So he introduced me to the Unipit, and I met with the people. I met the Professor Tenchef and the wonderful Professor Yes, I'm a chef. He retired, and I was talking to them about the dominance of the power actually in the world through the innovation. How America dominated the world with the innovation. How it happened in the old history, the old time, and they said, you know what? What you don't focus only on innovation. Forget about the political status of this theme, and then we just focus on innovation. And then I started to really think about innovation, and and then the idea of writing PhD came, and then I started to learn. Actually, guys, I didn't know anything. I forgot how to write essays. I did actually in Harvard Business School, but that was also 10 years ago or 12 years ago. And then I restart again. I was that time maybe 54, 50, yeah, something like that. And then I started to relearn how to write the essays, how to read more books, and then it was a journey. It was, I believe, 1.5 years or 2 years. I cannot remember.
Yeah. I remember. It was around the whole journey. It was around 3 years from the start until.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and then we defend it. We finish it. And then I was going back and forth to Harvard Business School. I go actually every year back to the school to learn and to get more education, what's going on in the world. And one of the time I went back, and then I said, hey, I wrote my PhD to my professor, innovation professor. And I told her, do you think is this something for a book to be written about this innovation? And then she read, and then he said, yes. This is very, very interesting, because you are exploring actually the transmission of the innovation throughout the history and the view of the civilization. You have the civilization of the Egyptian, the Greek, the Roman, the European, the Islam, the Muslim empire, the American empire, and the Chinese empire. I call it empire or civilization, all of the same. Because this is actually the dominance of the world. I call it empire. That's the reason. The civilization and the power, what this civilization can give and influence the world. I said this is good as an empire. So, and I gave it to the dean of the Harvard Business School at the time. And also he said, yes, it's a good material. So I start to think about writing the book. I don't know how to write a book. I knew how to search to write a dissertation, but I didn't know how to write a book. So it was also a long journey to look for someone to help me to write the book. So I stayed for almost a year to look for an editor of a book, and I came to these two nice people. They are history professors, economic history professors at the Florida International University in Florida, and one of the most famous actually people in writing about the business history and the history of economy in the United States. And they liked the idea. And then they said, yes, we would like to edit your book. And I said, okay. And then they read it and said, why we don't put as well your biography into the book? Because as a dissertation, it's very, very rigid, actually. It's just research. But as a book, it's a totally different story, because in the dissertation you have actually all the evidence, and then you write your theory, you come out with the theory. But in the book you put the theory and then you prove it. This is how it will look like, or how it was actually throughout the history, and then you came with a nice story, and the story has to be attractive enough that everyone can read your book.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the good things about the book. Like in the book, you can really be more free with the language that you use.
Yes.
You can reach a bigger audience in this way.
Exactly.
In the dissertation, you have to keep more scientific.
Exactly. And that's why I say all the time, I'm not a book writer, but I'm a researcher, I'm a thinker. I just try to be a thinker. I'm not 100% thinker, but I try to be a thinker. And I got those people to help me to put actually my biography inside the book in order to be able to touch so many audience. Because if I have made it, then the others can do.
Yeah.
And
how did you choose the name, the Global Innovator?
The Global Innovator, actually, it came because when they put my biography into the book, included, and then the supervisor of the book, actually, he was a very nice man. I believe he's 95. His name is Louis Glombus. He is actually the president of the business historian in United States, and one of the biggest, the godfather of the business historian in United States. And he listened to my story. I defended actually the book in front of him and another 12 professors at the Johns Hopkins. Yeah. And that was very tough story, actually. I stayed for 4 hours to answer actually why, and they were very happy with with my story. And then he came out with the name. Actually, I didn't know what should I name the book, and then he said, "Hesham, you are so global. Why don't do it Global Innovator?" And then I said, "Yes, actually, I am global." So if I say I was born in Egypt, grew up in Austria or studied in Austria, I married with a Malaysian, I live in Dubai, my kids live in the United States, and I do business in 30 countries around the world, I must say, yes, I can say I globalized the world or my world since I was young. So, and that's why I liked actually the name Global Innovator. And we put the title very clear, how nations have held and lost the innovative age. Yeah. That means how we transmit actually the innovation throughout the history, and it's lost like the pharaohs, like the Greek, like any empire, and how they hold actually the innovation and the innovative age. And from there, I said, how can we create innovative society? If we talk about innovation, then I start to create innovation model and how to explain innovation to the people. This is the most important thing.
Yeah. Because from one side, you actually take this historical background of different nations, but you realize, what do we do now with this knowledge? Okay, so this is the most important thing. With all this knowledge, what do we do now? What do we teach our kids, the younger generation? And I think that the title really is not only describing your biography from one point, but also give inspiration to other people. So they might say, oh, I also want to be the global innovator. So it's really inspiring for people to go out of the small box that they probably live in, and then try to explore different environments in their daily life, but also outside of their country, probably, like you did.
That's right.
Yeah. And a little bit about your career. For me, it's very interesting because you were born in Egypt. We were talking that you started like 99% of all the people in a normal family, and then you developed this multinational company for paper trading and distribution. So can you just say a few words about that journey? So how you innovated within your journey so that you reach to the point where you have this multinational business and you're today the global innovator? Because I believe that if you change something in your environment, first you have to make the change within yourself. So
of course,
you innovate within yourself.
You reflect what you are. Yeah. You look at the mirror and you say, "This is me, guys." Yeah. That's true. Yes, it's a good question. Actually, as I said, the innovation model. I will start with the innovation model in order to put it an example on me. I say the observation model, or how to be innovative. You have to start with observation, creating new idea, born new idea, execute the idea, create value. Yeah. This is actually definition of innovation. That's what we have to define what innovation is. Any new idea, adjusted, adopted idea, which can be executed to create value, implement it to create the value. If I go back and I say to everyone how to be innovative, how to create value, this is the end of the story, the result of any innovation, to have a value. Because if you have an idea and you cannot execute the idea, you go sleep with the idea, it was an illusion, right? So you have to execute it in order to create value. Value means spiritual value, like to help someone to be better, or monetary value, you help yourself and you help your society to be better economically. So when I look at myself, I said my life was 3 stages. Number 1 stage, which is actually also can be life of every one of us. I grew up in Egypt, in a normal family. My parents, they were professors, they were educators. I learned how to read and write early. I learned how to do what they tell me to do. And as you focus on this, how I have to do what they told me to do. Thinking was not too much available at the time, in the 60s, in the 70s. And I believe in Europe is the same story, actually, except in Finland, Denmark now, the system is totally different. But even when I went to Austria, it is the same story. Do, this is what you have to do, that's it. So, and my portion of the life in Egypt, it was the observation stage of my life. I observed everything very, very clearly, and I have seen everything actually, and this is what I ask young people. Observe everything. When you cannot take a decision and then you can change yourself, observe it, absorb it, keep it in your Unterbewusstsein or your subconscious.